Hi, this is How to Get Your Shit Together with me, Sue Wright. Today we're going to talk about change. Now, I love change. I relish change. I crave change. I love moving house. I love something different. I love taking a leap of faith. It doesn't faze me at all. However, I know I am not normal in that respect. I'm saying that laughingly because most of the people around me, for some reason, don't like change. Family, who are blood relatives, do not like change. My dad is the only one who is like me and ups and offs, even at 70 plus, is now talking about moving house again. So we don't mind change. I do not have roots in a particular place. Family are my roots, and the way the world is at the minute, we can contact each other anywhere in the world, so that's not an issue. But change for a lot of people is quite a biggie. It's quite a big thing to get your head around. So when I'm working with somebody through the courses, the How to Get Your Shit Together courses, or the one-to-one coaching, is being mindful that everybody has a change threshold where they feel comfortable. And if you step over that threshold, it can set people into a bit of a tailspin. So when you're making changes, when you're planning to get your stuff together, when you've done vision boards or whatever you're doing to make the changes to move forward, you need to kind of have a think about how you handle change and how you process change. So for me, I relish change, but I like change in a bit of an organized manner. I'm not a big surprise person. Never ever throw me a surprise party. I would probably have a hissy fit and a complete tantrum. I don't like surprise things. Where possible, I like to kind of put plans in place, but that's my strategic mind. So how do you feel about change? If you've thought about moving house or changing job or even moving country where you live, how does that make you feel? And, when you're thinking about how it makes you feel, try and start to get some detail into which parts of it set your alarm bells ringing. What is it about moving, say, that worries you? Is it the actual physical packing up of your belongings and physically moving them? Is that the bit that daunts you? Is it the actual relocating to going somewhere completely different? Is it that bothers you? And it's the same with work or with, relationships, things like that, ending a relationship. Any kind of change, pay attention to which bits are you rattled about? What is it? Is it, if you're looking to end a relationship or move out on your own, what part of it starts to rattle your change buttons? Is it the being on your own? Is it the worrying about not being able to cope? Is it about finances? Is it, what is it? Try and be specific about it. If change bothers you, or say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like a mega change, completely moving country, something like that, 1 being just changing where you do your food shopping, try and just see how you feel with it. Push yourself a little bit further each time. And then it's when you've discovered which things really bother you, it's then trying to kind of micromanage that change. So when you're looking to change something again, let's say change your job. What is the reason why you're doing it? What is the driving force for that change? Because often if you can narrow that down, then the actual change bit of it becomes a more of a positive experience for you if it's something you're worried about. Like I say, if you're like me and change doesn't really bother you, then fine, switch off, go and listen to something else. But if change does bother you, figure out the why. I know I've said in a previous podcast not to ask that, but this time I do want very short, succinct answers. What is it about this particular change that you find a challenge? If you're changing job, Is it that you're worried about not being capable of doing the new job? Is it to relation to the people you're working with? Is it the commute? Is it the pay scale? Is it the environment? Try and figure it out, because then that power of that change, that worry change, is not going to have the bigger impact on you. I can't even get my words out. But it is, if you're, find out what part of change you're struggling with, and then dissect it a little bit and try and figure out which precise area it is that causes you to have a little bit of doubt. Okay, and then you can do the work on that doubt. If, like me, you love change, then great. But like I say, with me, although I do like change, it's planning the change. And you may be like that as well. And it is, again, detail, detail, detail. Because when you're doing something new, when you're looking to change, when you're looking to push yourself out of your comfort zone, it's important that you do it in a way that supports the change. So you take one step out of your comfort zone, then another step, then another step. And you may plan those steps. You may plan that kind of moving forward. So if, for example, you've lost your confidence driving, get in the car. That's step 1. Step 2 is get in the car and start the engine. Step 3 is drive somewhere for 5 minutes. Step 3 is go for 10 minutes. Then it's go somewhere that you know. So any kind of incremental steps you can put in to make that change possible. So that's in relation to driving, in case you needed to drive somewhere new and that change of scenery bothers you. But it's the same with anything. Incremental stages that you can go through to facilitate that big change is the way to do it, rather than just closing your eyes and leaping and then landing wherever you need to land with all of that stress and angst and worry. Okay, you need to figure out where that worry is coming from and then take it from there. Work on the detail. Okay, so somebody like me can help you with that, figure out which bits might be pressing your buttons. But in general, have a little meeting with yourself, figure out what aspect of the change that you're planning bothers you the most, and work it out. Try and kind of tease it out, get the answer out. Ask yourself, though, well, what am I worried about? If you want a short answer, why? Yeah. Have a think. Like I say, that's to do with change. And if you need me, you know where I am.